Hi guys, it is time for class to start. Can you hear me? Thank you, Danielle. All right, let me go ahead and get started. Want more people, but what can you do? Ooh, someone just came in. Oh, actually, that's a good reminder. You probably can't hear the little doorbell ding-donging, but it will distract me, so I gotta turn that off. There. I sent out an email just a little bit ago about a couple of things, so be sure to check your email if you haven't seen those yet. And I need this drop down menu to go away. Go away. Go away. I need to be able to hit the start my PowerPoint thing. There. See if that'll do it. Can you see that? Okay. I'm assuming that's a yes, that you can see the PowerPoint now. All right. Sorry, I'm a little bit flustered today. So today I'm going to be talking about the rough draft that you have coming up due next week. Is that right? Gosh, it seems so close, but I think that's right. This is the rough draft of your final paper that you've been working on, which is a proposed solution to a problem in higher education, specifically a problem at ISU. So that's what you'll be working on over the next week. But before we get into talking about that rough draft, I have a couple of announcements to make. First off, I wanted to remind you to please fill out your course evaluation. It looks like this, the link to it on Moodle. It says English and Philosophy Course Evaluation Spring 2021. So you click on that, you go through the whole process, and then at the end, there's a screen that says thank you. You'll take a picture of that thank you screen and upload the picture here on this assignment that says extra credit course evaluation. This is due for me and for you, for everybody on May 2nd. They will close the survey at 11:59 on May 2nd. So you need to get it done before then. We do have some time though, which is nice. This is the whole process laid out so that you can look at that. So you begin by filling out the course evaluation, which looks like this on the web page. Take a screenshot of the thank you screen at the end, not of your answers to the questions, just the thank you screen at the end. Then you upload the picture to Moodle, and it's under the week of April 19th through the April 25th, which is Dead Week, or the week before spring break. You click on that and upload the picture, and you'll get 3 points of extra credit for helping me out. This is really essential for my continued employment at ISU. So I really appreciate those of you who do this, so much so that I give you some extra points that will just bring your grade up a little bit. So thank you for doing that. Another thing, I realized I was trying to get to sleep last night, thinking about everything I had to do, and I realized the week that I had scheduled to do conferences with you is also the week before graduation. So that doesn't normally happen where we have, oh, I have a chat. Let me check that. Where do we find the course evaluation is what Sarah asked. Let me go ahead and just pull it up on Moodle, maybe. It looks it sometimes looks different for different people. But for me, I'll show you what it looks like. So go to our website or our Moodle page. It's right here under feedback, at least on mine. On certain browsers, you have to go all the way down and it's at the end, the bottom of the page, somewhere after the last week. So those are the two places to look for it. And it's also called English and Philosophy Course Evaluation. It has that little horn on it that looks like it's saying dur, 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 dur. So look for that. Let me pull back up my PowerPoint. So yeah, the week before graduation is when I had scheduled conferences. Conferences, even though they're less work for you, they're a lot more work for me because I basically am filled up every day, and I have to add more time to the class. And I realized that was like the worst plan I'd ever come up with, to try to do conferences the week before graduation, which is my new job, is to help with graduation. So I decided to go ahead and cancel that, and I'm sure you're all very heartbroken about a canceled conference. So that week, it's going to be an extra writing week for you. I still will be available to email, text, call. I got another chat. Oh, you didn't take a screenshot? Zakia, if you go to, go click on that course evaluation thing, you should go back to, it should pull up a screen that says thank you again for you. So if you do that, you'll still be able to get the credit for it, okay? But during the week of dead week, when you guys are gonna be probably scrambling to get stuff done before spring break, or maybe you'll already be taking your spring break at that point, which is totally understandable. If you need some help, I'm around and I would love to talk to you. But I'm going to let you be the one to reach out to me, to text, call, email me, and we can set up a Zoom session. We could meet in person. We can do whatever you need to do. Or we can just go back and forth by text, because I know that some people get anxiety about talking one-on-one over Zoom. So whatever you would need to do, I'm available. But I may have my hair look frazzled and I might be stressed. But I'm your number one priority on getting things done. Okay, so the next part, before we go on to anything else, I wanted to do a poll. Let me find it, the correct one. I have so many. Here we go. And I'll just let you read through these yourself and answer them and shut up for a few minutes. Oh, I can take a drink of tea while I read. I could say this out loud. I'm typing it. Zakia, you can take a screenshot of the thing that says you've already completed this activity, or take a picture of that and send it to me, and I will, or upload it to that assignment, and you can still get the credit for it. Okay, does that work? Okay, thanks, Zakia. Thanks for letting me know. Looks like I have 3 more people left. One more. There we go. All right. So here's our poll. A little under half of you are saying bring it on for the end of the semester. A little over half of you are saying, oh no, I have too much to do. This is scary. I'm a little bit in the former bring it on category. So I guess we're about even, all the 14 of us together. Okay, completed the course evaluation. Did you see what I did there? I'm just, this is just another way of reminding you and making you commit to doing it. So as soon as class is over, you guys are going to be doing the course evaluation, or else you would have lied on this poll. So you have to do it now. All right. How far along are you in the process of completing your final paper? So luckily, I'm really glad that none of you are in this stage where you're not sure what the assignment even is. So I'm glad to see that. One of you understands the assignment, doesn't have a topic. There are a few of you who have a problem and some research, but you still need to figure out what's next. Hopefully we'll get some ideas about that today, maybe not. You can stay after class and ask questions and get some help on that end, by the way, if you need to. And sometimes if you just hang around, you can kind of hear what other people are thinking about too, which can be helpful. And then the bulk of you are saying that you have a problem, an audience, a solution, and research. You just need to start writing, which totally understandable. And one of the things that I hope you learned from my lecture on Wednesday is that sometimes you just have to start and rip off that Band-Aid. So that's probably where you are at, where you just need to sit down and rip the Band-Aid off and get working. I thought I looked up funny questions to ask in polls on Google, and I thought this one was funny, but I had to come up with my own people. So 3 of you said Donald Duck, which cracked me up. Arnold Schwarzenegger only got 1, huh? Oprah got a couple. Dwight Schrute got 5. He's the winner, which is hilarious. And the nanny got 2. So I just tried to think of really distinctive voices. I should have put like Morgan Freeman on there, come to think of it. Darn, why didn't I think of that ahead of time? Oh well. Then everybody would have chosen him, right? Okay, last one. What is the best solution to the rampant stress on the campus of ISU? Therapy puppies available 24/7. So when in my job that I'm doing through as events assistant, my office is in the office of the president. So his office is right over across the hall from me. And he has a puppy that he's been bringing to work. So I get therapy puppy experience. Oh, nice. Sarcastic narration is what Sarah says. So anyway, the President Satterley has a puppy, and oh my gosh, that has made my life so much better, being able to cuddle up with her. I should show you. I have a selfie that I took with her the other day. Oh, she's so adorable. And I guess that's the benefit of being the president of the university, is you get to do things like bring your puppy to work whenever you want to. But anyway, so that's what made me think of that. Compulsory therapy for every student. I sometimes wonder if this would be a good thing, to have every student at least screened by counselors. It costs a lot of money, and I'm sure the university doesn't want to spend it, but it would be probably a good thing. I can't believe that somebody picked this, but spa music pumped out over the loudspeakers. I enjoy trying to create a spa atmosphere in my house, and I will do that. And it's funny because my kids' favorite music is like, we have Sirius XM on one of our cars, and they like the XM station that's called Spa Music the best. Complimentary ice cream every afternoon. I hope they have sugar-free options for those of us with insulin resistance, but yeah, I would be into that. Recess on the quad, that's mine. That's really, I love the therapy dogs, but I wish we had recess. Canceling grades would help everyone. Sadly, I don't think that we can convince anyone to do that. So thanks for doing these polls with me, guys. It's so much fun for me. Let me go ahead and close that. I'm going to get back into our PowerPoint. Oh, somebody said something in the chat. Recess with the big jungle gym. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. That would be fun. I miss recess. All right, so we just finished our poll. Kind of see where we are. So with the rough draft, I know that this kind of cracks me up. I think it's actually the opposite of this for most students. Most students have a hard time getting anything turned into the rough draft. So they kind of like skip over the rough draft portion and jump right into a final draft the day before it's due. But I really don't want you to do that. So what I do with my rough drafts is that I ask you to hand in whatever you've gotten done, and I'll give you full credit. So even if you just like, I don't know, take a picture of some notes that you've scribbled on a piece of notebook paper, take a picture of that, upload it. I will give you full 6 points of credit for that submission. Okay. So hand in anything and you get full credit. So you can give me some applause. It's okay. Of course, my like dream is that you will complete your paper and turn that in as your rough draft, because then you'll get better feedback. You'll be closer to being done. You can enjoy your spring break more. All these great things will come of you getting it done ahead of time. Right? So it's a good idea to turn in a really complete draft. But we have to be realistic about what's possible. So as a realistic person, I'm asking you to turn something, anything, whatever you can manage for your rough draft. It's the same concept as what we talked about on Wednesday, where I had that image by Austin Kleon, who said, it doesn't have to be good right now. It just has to exist. If it exists, if it's a piece of paper with scribbles on it, with some ideas scratched on there, that's something for me to respond to. If you turn in nothing, you don't get any response and you aren't moving forward. So that's why I really would like to get something out of you for this rough draft. So some things to go through. I know we've been talking about this assignment kind of piece by piece, but now we kind of have to go back and look at the overall assignment, what we're looking for that final paper. So as you're working on the rough draft, you need to keep this stuff in mind. I do want everyone to write a thesis statement. We have said before that thesis statements are not required for all types of writing. They're just standard features of academic writing, and there's something that many of your professors are going to expect you to be able to do already walking into their classrooms. The thesis statement proposal form will look something like this. To solve X problem, we should do Y because A, B, and C. We have a whole PowerPoint that talks about the proposal form that you can go back and look at if you're still unsure of what that means. The paper should be 6 to 8 pages long to give you a nice spread of potential lengths. You'll need about 5 sources for this paper. You will want at least one source that addresses the opposing view and like takes on the opposing view, so somebody who might disagree. I also would like to see what your personal stake in the problem is by talking about your own story about why you started thinking about this problem to begin with. And then at the end, you'll have your works cited page. So this is the proposal format. We've gone through this. You can see a whole PowerPoint about it. So I recommend that you use this format for your paper, where you even use the headings to help keep you organized as you put it together, and to make sure you've covered all your bases. So this is something that you can draw upon and use. I'm not going to go over it in detail because we had a whole day that we talked about it, and it's available under our recorded lectures too if you need to refresh your mind about it. I think that, yes, today is the day where I've asked you to turn in an outline using this format. So hopefully you have at least that done for your rough draft next week. Another reminder is that we want the problems that you are attacking for this assignment should be local, which means that it's kind of focused on ISU. It should be narrow and specific. So we don't want to try to solve the national college debt crisis. That's asking too much. We want to narrow it down and try to figure out something that ISU can do to help ease the burden of student debt on ISU students, something like that. The problem also needs to be something that is solvable by someone at ISU. And it also should be related to your experience as a student. So don't just pick some random thing. It should be something that, emerged from your own experiences. Another reminder, good solutions are easy, feasible, which means that they could actually happen, practical, which means that they're easy to enact, basically, that they're inexpensive, cheap, 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 local, which means ISU, someone at ISU can do it, and audience-based. So your solution needs to connect with what someone in your audience is capable of doing. So with this one, we have this example here. Students should earn points for using public transit that they can use for merch at the bookstore. So you could have a couple of audiences that you target here, convincing students to use public transport for points, or try to convince the bookstore and the PRT to get together to come up with a deal for students. Another reminder is that this paper should be in your own voice. You're not just regurgitating sources, you're actually crafting this from your own experiences and through your own ideas. So you should be the star of the paper, and you use your sources as backup singers. So that's really all there is to it. Your sources are supporting you, not the other way around, okay? Another reminder, this is the last time you'll be seeing this. Contact either me or our librarian, Jenny Semenza, if you need any help. She knows my assignments and I know them too. So you can get assistance from either of us if you're still struggling with your sources. We are going to look at this rubric in a lot of detail next Wednesday. I'm going to have an example. We will apply the rubric to the example, and you'll get a good chance to see how I will use the rubric to grade you. Just another reminder, this was originally the slide that was next, but I just wanted to remind you that we will not be having conferences during Dead Week. Instead, it's going to be a writing week for you and a graduation week for me. And you can totally email me if you need to. So this is to keep me from drowning. And I'll just hover here for a minute to remind you about my email address and phone number. You've seen it twice today, so I hope that that you know that I am inviting your contact if you have questions. This is what's left for things you need to do, things you need to hand in before the end of the semester. So these are all due today: the Language and Rhetoric Forum, the Proposal Form Quiz, which again, that's not busy work. That's something that is basically an outline for your final paper. So if you get that done, you already have your outline done for the paper. Then you'll have a forum on changing our metaphors. This is kind of like our capstone forum. We had at the beginning of the semester an article or a TED Talk about the metaphor of war that's used in terms of rhetoric. We get another talk about that sort of at the in this other TED Talk that we're closing this semester with. And I'd like you to think a little bit about other metaphors we might be able to use to talk about rhetoric and persuasion and argument. And that's also that's the week that your rough draft is due. This would have been the week, Friday, April 23rd. That week would have been the one when we did our conferences, but I canceled those. So all you have to get turned in that week is your semester review quiz, which is fairly simple. Then you have spring break, which I should have put in here. There's nothing due in spring break, so there's nothing there. There's a huge gap between the 23rd of April when you hand in your semester review and May 7th when you turn in final exam, final paper, and all of your late work. So, and I'll be talking about the final exam on next Wednesday in more detail. So That's still coming, but just as a kind of reminder, I've said it a couple times, but to remind you, the final exam is a reflective self-evaluation and is pretty simple. So it's really nothing to worry about. And that's it. That's all I have for you today. Because I cancel conferences, I wanted to leave some time at the end of the hour for people to grab me and talk to me if you need to about any questions you have or anything that you want to talk to me about. So I'm done for today. You are free to go and have a great weekend. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday for, we have 2 days of Zoom classes left. Oh, Sarah's going to have some recess. Great. Good for you, Sarah. Go enjoy that beautiful day. You might see me out there if you're on the quad. I'm going to be doing some filming for a commencement related video. So I'm excited. All right, guys, go enjoy the outside. I'll see you all later, and I'm sticking around if you have any questions for me. Bye, Marcus.
Thank you.
Bye, Taylor.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.